Good morning. I'm going to do a full description and point out the cosmetic parts on the Midget for good and bad. The front valance here was galvanised when I put it on, so the whole frame is new. If you look around the lights, there isn't rust, but I used a 2-pack that's cracked a bit. The chroming is in very good condition, slightly worn. You can see it's gone slightly there. The front edge of the bonnet, there's no rust through at all. I've always oiled the inside. You can see these are the sort of chips that are on the car. There is a slight dimple in the bonnet there. If we're working round, you can see I've put a black paint on the edge. That's a bit untidy, but again my aim's always been to stop rust. This is the point where it must have had mud in and it's come through slightly, but I've had the wings off and the inner arch is as clean as anything. If we move on to the wheels, I got Minolite copies and they're 175/70 Falcon Sincera tyres, all in very good nick. Moving on to the sill, again I've used the twin pack. Might not look perfect, but there's no rust. Again on the seam, not perfect, but again on the A-frame here there's no rust through. Same up the edge of the wing, there's a chip there. The top of the door, the rubbers have all been replaced, no rust coming through, cracked like they all do there. Again round the edge, no rust. Inside you can see the rubbers where the Zybart was put in, and as you can see it's tidy, again rust free. At some stage somebody in a car park had gone down the side and it's been filled in a line along there. Those are the sort of blemishes in the paintwork. Working on round, the same round the rear wheel arch where there are paint chips. Coming to the back corner, but all these are still extremely solid, as are the spring hangers. You can see the way the car sits. The springs have been replaced on the rear. It's a long while back, but you can see how well it sits. There's no sag to it at all. The top edge, again, has been touched up to stop rust. Again round the back, there's slight pitting in the chrome work, but not at all bad. It did at some time have a small trailer. The bottom edge, again maybe a bit of surface rust, but nothing serious. There is in the boot a hole in that back corner. I don't know whether that points it out. Obviously some water sat in the back edge I didn't know about. The screen in there is to cover it for an RAC. When I did some competition, it had to be a metal thing between the boot and the car. That would easily come out and the standard panel's still behind it. The boot doesn't fit perfectly because at one time it's been forced, which has cracked that inner, but it wouldn't be a big job at all to level that up. As you can see, the boot's in perfect nick anyway. Moving on round, stainless steel exhaust system to a special tuning manifold. The tank is about 2 years old, and you'll not be able to see probably, but right up there the fuel pump has been replaced by a proper facet American cube. The back corner, again not rusty but chips. Another lovely wheel. We move on, the same with the top edge of this door and round. Interior from here, the carpet has got aged a bit there and there, but the trim is all original and all there. At 62,000 miles and it's running extremely well. Again, things like that, the interior light, it's corroded on the top, that's original. Those are all the carpets. again, the sill, and you can see it's black paint I've put there. At some time it obviously needs respraying and it would tidy up, but there isn't any rust. Same round the front heel arch. Now if you like to open the bonnet, again round this edge you can see the paint finish. Right, under the bonnet, this whole piece with the front valance had rusted through because they blocked the drain hole when they Zybarted it. So I put a new one on, and before I put it on I had it galvanised. The radiator is a replacement, the spare doesn't leak, but it wasn't exchanging the heat that brilliantly. Obviously new hoses. The cylinder head is unleaded, it's a standard midget cylinder head. The block is Ital A+. It's perfect oil pressure and compression. The clutch hydraulics, the clutch itself, I've done the actuating arm and the release bearing once, not that many miles ago, but the hydraulics weren't so good, so I've replaced those all with proper Lockheed parts, not Chinese rubbish. On the engine, anything else on there? Not on this side. As I say, I've done the clutch. If we move round to the other side, it's a competition special tuning exhaust manifold, a heat shield to a 1 3/4 inch HIF 44. The air cleaner is a K&N, it's one off a Weber 45 with a different black plate. There is a ram pipe in there. That still fits with the different back plate which is with it on the Weber 45 if anybody wanted it. Heated inlet manifold, which Mr Vizard says is the best. The battery was replaced last year. There's a hole underneath the battery where it's rotted through, but not against the bulkhead where a lot go. You might just see where I've riveted a galvanised plate on there. Okay, you can see the bonnet looks awful because it's the Zybart on it, but it makes excellent rough proofing. Up the edges of the bonnet, there's again the odd chip, but not what I would call serious rust. There's a slight dimple there, somebody's sat on it. I think that just about covers everything. Please telephone or email if I can provide any further particulars. Thank you.